Oceanside, California. I used to come down here all the time when I was in the Marine Corps. I keep seeing these young Marines that are trying to hang out for the weekend. And they all look like they're 10 years old. And I'm wondering, like, did I look like this? Did I look that young when I was down here? And then they're all looking at me because I got the Marine Corps hat on and I kind of look the part, but at the same time I've also got facial hair and I'm a lot older, and they're all looking at me like, is this guy still in the service? Hasn't shaved in like a month. It's like I look too young to be the old angry homeless veteran, but not young enough to be one of them, so they're not quite sure what to make of me. This hotel is a dump. My wife booked it. It was only $400 for 4 days. Luxury. But it's nice. Yeah, it's been so long since I've been down here. This is bringing back a lot of memories. And they've gentrified the neighborhood. They've changed a lot of things. Looks like they're fishing with glow sticks.
Yeah, so you can see their line.
My camera lens is dirty. Focus. It's not focusing. There we go. Now we're focusing. Yes, yes. All right, now show me your butt.
I know that was an ad. Here we go.
Oh. Oh. Just gotta look at the lens. Well, the bad news is I did not make weight. I'm 93 kilos. So that means I will not be getting the national records this year. But I can still qualify for Worlds. I'm definitely going to take the Nevada State records. And it just makes everything harder because the weight I need to hit to qualify for Worlds is over 1,500 pound total. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's to get an elite. So to get an elite classification, I got to break the 1,500 pound mark. To get my master total, I need to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,400, which I'll get that. So I don't know. I'm still going to blow all my previous records out of the water, but I'm not going to take the national records this year. You know what though? If I qualify for Worlds, I might. You want to go compete in London?
Sure. I'd love to go to London.
So you know what? I'm going to eat as much food as I possibly can for the next 24 hours because I'm over my weight anyway. And we'll see what it looks like. Clip-its.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Gotta get them knees working. As you see, my first warm-up set's pretty ugly. I had some concerns. My knees were kind of hurting, my back was kind of hurting, and I'm starting to think maybe it's psychosomatic, you know. It worked out. Note the depth I'm hitting here in these warm-up sets because this will come into play later. I'm looking at these and I'm thinking that's pretty good. I'm happy. I'm seeing the hips below the knees. Maybe you guys think these are a little high. I didn't think they were. I thought they were good. They were good to go. So this first squat, I buried it. I mean, I thought I buried it, and it turns out I got red lighted. And when I asked what the red lights were, they said it was deaf. Couldn't believe it. I thought I went too deep. So on my next attempt, I went deeper, obviously. I noticed I was favoring one leg, so I wasn't completely healed from my injury. So imagine I'm doing these squats and I'm using one leg more than the other. It was, squats were definitely difficult this meet. Now my goal was to at least hit a 545 pound squat, and I do think the strength was there, but due to the pain and discomfort, I did play these conservative, and I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. I think I had more in the tank. I finished with a 530. It 529 point something. When I do my openers, I always use a conservative weight, something I can hit 2-3 times any day of the week. So I opened up with a 330 on the bench, and it felt like it was 135 pounds. I always get amped on the platform every time. I don't lift that well in the gym. Everything feels super heavy when I'm training at home, and I always underestimate my strength, and I wind up leaving so much on the platform. It's so disappointing. My previous meet PR was 335 pounds. It's the most I've ever done in competition. Obviously, I've done more in the garage. I murdered that today. I got 370, and I had so much more. Looking at this video, I had so much more in the tank. I think I could have got another 20 pounds, maybe 30. Who knows? Now, here's where we're running into a problem. When I was doing my deadlift warm-ups, I was in a lot of pain. My lower back was really hurting. And my wife's a massage therapist. She did help to work the muscles out in between sets. But I was thinking, you know what? I might just go up, do my first attempt, and call it a day. I have a really conservative opener, 501 pounds, something like that. But luckily, when I got up on the platform, things changed. By the time I went for my third attempt, my back was really hurting. I was scared I was going to injure myself. And I went for 565, somewhere around there. Since I broke the state record, I could go for a fourth attempt, and I'm thinking this could be it. I really wanted 600 so bad. I did play it conservative. I went for 590 and change, like whatever kilos comes out to. It's not exact. It goes to pounds, but man, I killed it, and it went so fast. The adrenaline kicked in. I kind of wish, I'd have went for 600 just to break that, but I still beat my previous PR, and at my age, this is considered an elite lift. So, all right, I'll take it. So there you have it. 47 years old. I finished with a 1490 total. I got 370 on the bench, 530 on the squat, 590 on the deadlift, and I expected to win my weight class. There's not usually that many masters competing, so generally speaking, if I may be competing against 2 or 3 guys, and I'm a fairly competent lifter. I've been ranked in the top 20 any year that I was competitive in the USPA over the age of 40. Obviously, I'm nothing compared to the open guys. What was really cool about this meet is I did so well that I got a podium placement for my weight class. So I beat a bunch of the younger guys. When they called me up I placed second for 220 overall, and I was like, really? Because there was some pretty good lifters. So it was a surprise. That medal means a lot to me. I've always won the old guys. I think that's nothing, but to beat some of the younger guys, I got a kick out of that. I couldn't believe they called me up. When she handed me the medal, she said, "You shouldn't look so surprised." And I was like, "Wow, I've never placed. I've never placed with the open guys before." So that's a first. That was really neat. It was neat to stand up there to have the one lone old guy standing up next to 20, 22-year-old, and they, don't get me wrong, they lifted more than me, but I did get a little bit of an advantage due to my age. I think it changes the Wilks or whatever, it gives you a little bit of a boost. So I had that going for me. Now, the one thing that I'm really dissatisfied about with this meet is these refs were by far the strictest refs I've ever competed with. There was 3 or 4 lifters that bombed out. I got red lights all over my lifts. Obviously, 2 out of 3 agree. You still get the lift. So seeing 1 red light here and there is like no big deal, but I got red lighted on like every attempt. And I know, I keep looking at the videos and they were hitting me for depth and all sorts of just ticky-tack nonsense that I've never had an issue with in all the years I've been competing. I watched this 17-year-old bomb out, and he did have 1 attempt that was high, and they should have called him on that one, but the other 2, I watched really closely. I was up there, and he buried those. They were good squats. I had to look at his mom and say, you know what, he got robbed. I don't say that often. I don't ever say that the judges are wrong. Everybody complains about the judges, but in this instance, I have to tell you, these guys were way too strict. They failed at least 3 lifters that should have been able to continue. And it's so disheartening when you've trained that hard to just be robbed by some death Nazi. The rules are clear. The hips have to be below the knees. And I saw it with my own eyes. I was on the side. I was at the same level as the side judges. And these guys were calling stuff that they were good lifts. It was an interesting experience going from Vegas, where all the USPA international judges are, and seeing how professional the judges, the spotters, everything is, and then to go to a local meet in California, which is away from the center of the sport, and seeing the differences, it's eye-opening. It makes me wonder, just how many good lifters didn't make it into the record books because of 1 or 2 Nazi judges that weren't trained very well. But at the end of the day, I had an awesome meet. It was a great time. I love the fact that I got to go see the ocean, and my wife got to hang out with her family, and it was just neat being the guy from out of town. And it was also really neat doing a local meet where normally I'm a mediocre lifter. I show up and the guys I'm competing with are so far above my abilities that I'm nothing. I'm in the middle of the pack at best. But in this one, I was, kind of a big fish in a little pond, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having people come up to me and say, "Wow, you're incredibly strong for your age." Because normally nobody pays attention to me, and I that's fine. I'm not looking for anything special. So that was a little that got me. That got me. Kind of makes me want to travel some more and do some more local meets, just to, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the attention. It was a lot of fun.